अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
वालेकुम सलाम, तशरीफ़ रखें।
थैंक यू सर।
Okay, beta Nimra,
यस सर,
how are you?
आई एम गुड अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। हाउ आर
Relaxed?
यू सर?
Comfortable? Good.
यस सर।
I see from your CV form that Lahore is your favorite city.
यस सर,
Just one question on Lahore.
श्योर।
How many gates are there in the walled city of Lahore?
There are 13 gates in the walled city of Lahore.
Can you name 8 of these?
Yes sir, I can name a few. Lohari Gate, Bhati Gate, Mochi Gate, Shah Alam Gate, Sher Shah Gate. I can't recall the rest.
Okay, good enough. I also see that you have studied as your optional subjects gender studies, IR, sociology, criminology,
Yes
and
sir.
business ed.
Yes sir.
All right, I'm going to ask you one question each on gender, IR, and sociology.
Yes sir.
Can you speak to me for 1 minute on Mukhtara Mai?
Yes sir. Mukhtara Mai rape case was a very famous incident that happened in the year 2002, and it was a gang rape which was actually an honor revenge because of because of his brother's alleged illicit relations with a woman of a rival tribe. And the issue was raised at the local as well as the international level, and the perpetrators were arrested at first. However, their acquittal took place, I think, a year ago. In addition to that, after the incident, Mukhtara Mai started serving the country by starting her own foundation, and she is currently running 1,300 schools in the country and working for the education of the women of Pakistan.
Okay, one question on IR.
Yes, sir.
The Balfour Declaration
Yes, sir.
is considered to be the root cause of the present day Israel Palestinian problem. What are your comments on this?
Yes, sir. The Balfour Declaration took place in the year 1917. It was a letter written by Arthur Balfour, and he wrote this letter. Through this letter,
Who was he?
Sir Arthur was the Foreign Secretary of UK, and he basically wrote this letter to the leaders of Israel to form their own homeland in Palestine, which eventually led to their migration to the Palestinian homeland, and which eventually led to the conflict between the Palestinians and the Israelis. And today Israel exists over there, and there is a constant conflict between Palestine and Israel.
What social issues do people face in Pakistan or are facing in Pakistan?
Sir, there are many social issues that are faced by the Pakistani people, like overpopulation, child abuse, discrimination of women, smuggling, drug abuse, street crime. Yes, sir.
Unemployment, सबसे बड़ा issue जो है illiteracy. Anyway, okay. Now my last question to you. As a Pakistani, what measures would you recommend or suggest to promote international, underline the word international, tourism in Pakistan?
So there are various measures that Pakistan can adopt in order to promote international tourism. First of all, we need to market ourselves in a better way. And to do that, we need to improve our soft image on the world stage. We can do that by social media marketing, and we can even hire international bloggers to promote Pakistan as a safe country. That is one step. Other than that, we need to create ease for the tourists who are visiting Pakistan so that they visit again. For example, we need to ease the visa system. We need to provide them with facilities. They should be provided with security so that they feel safe and sound whenever they visit, and they recommend it to others as well. And we need to promote the beautiful areas of Pakistan. If Malaysia can be truly Asia, then why can't we promote the most beautiful capital, Islamabad, that we have? It is one of the most beautiful capitals
How
of
do
the
we
world.
do that?
Sorry, sir?
How do we promote these beautiful areas of Pakistan?
Sir, I believe social media is the right tool in today's world, and we can use it to our advantage to promote Pakistan. And the blogging culture that exists today, I think they are the opinion leaders these days, and we can use them to promote our country.
Okay, thank you. Over to you.
Ji, Nimra,
Yes,
there's a
sir.
lot of talk about the constitution of Pakistan these days.
Yes, sir.
Should we also talk about the constitution of Pakistan?
Sure, sir.
Uh-huh. How many constitutions did Pakistan make so far?
Sir, 3.
3. Which ones? And which years?
In 1958,
Okay,
1962, and 1973.
1973.
56 actually.
56
The first
was
one,
the, that's right.
Sorry.
Okay. The Constitution of 62 and the Constitution of 1973, there are certain differences between these two constitutions. Can you identify the major differences between these two constitutions?
So the major difference between these two constitutions is that the 1962 constitution was a promoted a presidential form of government, whereas the 1973 constitution promotes a parliamentary form of government.
Okay.
In 1962 constitution, all the powers were with the president,
Okay.
whereas in the 1973 constitution, the president is just the figurehead and the spokesperson of the state, and
Okay.
the prime minister is the main man, and he has all the powers.
Okay. The Constitution of 1973 is known as the real Constitution of Pakistan. Do you know the reasons why it is known as such?
Yes, sir, because it was made by the elected government. It is a very detailed document.
Okay.
Yes, sir, that's it.
Okay. And it's a consensus document as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's talk about something else. Another subject, motivation, has
Yes,
been
sir.
a popular subject with the social scientists.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk about some of the scientists who have talked about motivation?
Sure, sir. I can talk about Maslow, who suggested a theory on motivation. He identified various needs of human beings which could actually lead to motivation within the workforce. He started with the very basic needs, which are the physical needs of
Physical
an individual,
needs, okay.
like water, shelter, and
Okay,
food.
okay.
And then he moved on to the next stage, which was the security needs, which
Okay.
was job security, health and safety. And then he also talked about the social needs of an
Social
individual,
needs, okay.
which include family, friends, the social bonds that a human being develops with others. And then he moved on to another stage, which was the esteem needs.
Okay,
And in it, he talked about respect, prestige.
okay.
And finally, the final stage that he introduced was self-actualization, which was
Okay.
about achieving one's full potential. So this was one of the theories.
He
of
came up with the
motivation.
idea of a pyramid also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what was there at the base and what
The
was there
physical
at the
needs
top?
were on the base.
Physi-
and, yeah, the
Okay.
physical needs.
Okay,
Like food, shelter, the innate
Okay.
needs the human beings are born with. Then the human beings move on to the next stage and so on. And the final stage is that of self-actualization, which
Okay.
is about achieving one's full potential.
okay. When did Maslow came up with this theory? Which was the year? Do you
sorry, sir, I can't
okay,
recall.
okay. Which other social scientists did follow him as far as motivation is concerned?
Sir, there is another theory of Herzberg.
Okay, Herzberg's theory.
He
Okay,
introduced the two-factor theory,
two-factor theory.
in which
Okay,
he introduced two types of factors, the hygiene factors and the motivators.
okay,
He suggested that the motivators are the factors which can actually motivate an individual,
Okay.
like an individual's pay or working conditions. However, the hygiene factors are those factors which can remove dissatisfaction from the workers,
Okay.
but if they are present, they can't actually motivate a worker.
Okay.
So this
Okay.
was his theory.
Okay. Okay, let's move on. Can you throw some light on the 4 P's of marketing?
Sure, sir. The 4 main P's of marketing are product, price, place, and promotion. Product is the main offering, the main service that a company is providing. And then comes the place.
Okay.
Place is actually the location where the product is available and all the distribution methods which are being used to supply the product to the market.
Okay.
Then comes the price.
Okay.
Price is actually the selling price of the product, which is calculated using various methods. And then comes promotion.
Okay.
There are various methods which could be used for promotion. That is decided during the decisions about the marketing strategy.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. G.
Ms. Nimra,
Yes, sir.
we are an agriculture country, we know that.
Yes, sir.
And agriculture is based on water resources.
Yes, sir.
How do you suggest to improve water resources of Pakistan? That is one. And secondly, how can we conserve water for agriculture?
Sir, I believe there are various methods that we can adopt in order to conserve water in the country. And first of all, I think individually we need to take a step and prevent the wastage of water. It should be a social media campaign should be run to create awareness about the importance of this issue, the water crisis that is being faced by the country, and so the citizens need to be educated so that they take steps individually in order to preserve water, to conserve water. Secondly, our irrigation system is quite old and it leads to a lot of wastage of water. So I think that needs to be worked upon. It needs to be improved. And thirdly, we need to build more dams. By building more dams, we'll be able to store more and more water.
Okay, can you
What about
name?
lining of canals? You don't believe in that?
Yes, sir, that is also a good idea in order to conserve water.
Okay, do you think, are we in the process of building big dams in Pakistan? Do you know some sites?
Sorry, sir, I can't recall any.
Okay. Commonwealth is a bond between certain countries.
Yes, sir.
First of all, just explain what is Commonwealth and then name few countries which are part of Commonwealth.
Commonwealth was a system which was introduced by the colonizers, especially the British, in order to support the new countries that were formed after they were freed from the colonizers. There are various countries which are under the same organization currently, and they include India, Pakistan, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia.
All right. What is the purpose of that?
The purpose of the Commonwealth is to ease the countries, the newly created countries, to function in the right manner so that they become independent.
Now, British had full control in India long ago, but there was a specific event and a year in which they formally announced that they have taken over the control of India. Can you tell that event and the year?
So it was after the War of Independence 1857 that the full control was announced, and the year was 1858.
My last question is, as a result of election in 1946 in United India, All India Muslim League formed government in some of the provinces. Can you name those provinces?
Sir, they formed a government in Bengal and Sindh. That's all I can recall.
Okay. Right, sir.
Thank you. Nimra Naeem.
Yes, sir.
What are the biological theories of crime?
Sir, the biological theories of crime were introduced by Cesare Lombroso. He is one of the most famous criminologists and also the father of criminology. And he introduced the idea that criminology is inherent, innate, or inborn. He wrote a book named The Criminal Man and also The Female Offender. And in that book, he explained that criminology is something which is inborn. And he introduced a few traits like twisted nose, large monkey like ears, wrinkled skin, and long arms as traits of a criminal. So, the idea was that a person who has 3 or more of these traits would be deemed a criminal, according to his theory.
Do you subscribe to this theory?
No, sir, I do not. I believe in the social perspective of criminology, which suggests that criminology is something that we learn in the society. So I believe in the social learning theory where people through observation learn criminal activities.
How many principal organs are there in the United Nations? Can you name 3?
Sir, there are a total of 6 principal organs, and 3 of them are General Assembly, Security Council, and International Court of Justice.
All right. Nimra, you had gender studies as well.
Yes, sir.
What are your views on Aurat March?
Sir, I believe Aurat March was a step in the right direction against the discrimination which takes place against the women of Pakistan and the patriarchal culture that exists. However, there were some elements within the Aurat March which took an extreme step, and they were resorting to indecent language which was shown in the posters which were used in the Aurat March. So I am not a supporter of that. However, I do support the cause of women, the real cause of women, which was actually the base reason for starting the Aurat March.
All right. You also had criminology.
Yes, sir.
What is the retributive theory of punishment? Is it practiced anywhere today?
So, the retributive theory of punishment suggests that the criminal should get the same punishment that has been inflicted by that person on another person. So, it's like an eye for an eye or a head for a head. And no, sir, it's not practiced anywhere currently.
Which territory was purchased by Pakistan and who took part in the negotiation or represented Pakistan in this transaction?
Sir, Gwadar was purchased by Pakistan from Oman on 8th December 1958. And Vikarun Nisa Noon, who was the wife of the then Prime Minister Feroz Khan Noon, facilitated the purchase of this territory.
When you say purchased, how much did he spend on it?
They spent 5.5 billion rupees on it.
Shabash.
What is Baitul Mamur?
Baitul Mamur is a place which is directly above the Khana Kaaba. It is the area where the angels prostrate. It's just like the Kaaba for the angels.
Can you name a few prominent women leaders from the Pakistan movement?
Begum Jahan Ara and Begum Rana Liaquat Ali Khan.
Any other leader?
No, sir, I can't recall any other.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Right, Ji. Now that the interview is over, let's have your views on it.
So Nimra is quite confident. She is very well dressed also. Some weaknesses, that's about the hands movement at times and eye contact. At times she loses that eye contact. What else? She possesses a good knowledge base and she expresses herself well also. I think she keeps on talking on the topic of her choice and she talks relevant also. That is one thing which is positive about her. Stress absorption as far as she's concerned was quite up to the mark. And she stayed confident even after the volley of questions, even after difficult questions. She has a good potential. She can be selected in the first few groups of her choice?
Hassan Iqbal sir.
I think, sir, she is a good candidate, has a very good appearance and composed, confident, and she could sustain pressure also. As far as knowledge is concerned, she has fairly good knowledge base and she could answer some of the complicated questions also quite well. And she attempted those questions in a sequential order. And she has a good grasp over the issues pertaining to Pakistan. Maybe on international side, she might have to brush up her knowledge a little more. Eye contact should have been a little better, but otherwise, overall, I would grade her as a very good candidate, and I think she should fall, as the honorable panelist said, that she should be in first few groups of her choice.
Thank you.
Usman
Sir,
sir.
at the cost of repetition, the candidate holds promise. She has a very bright and mature personality, sir. That's the first impression that I had of her. She gained confidence, although she started a little nervous, but she gained confidence along the way, sir. What I liked about her was her pitch, sir. She was very loud and clear, fluent. She speaks with command, good conversational ability, sir. And obviously, knowledge base, as has been pointed out already, is also very good. I think she should be able to do very good in any job with a description where she has to interact with people, be it within Pakistan or even outside Pakistan.
Foreign Service of
So
Pakistan.
foreign service. I see her as a potential candidate.
Good. Now, I can't agree with you more. I found her to be very confident and composed, sharp. She was full of energy. Energy level जिसको हम कहते हैं बहुत high था. She spoke very loudly and clearly. Delivery उसकी मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी. Carried and conducted herself very well. That was the most impressive thing about her. I see very good, rather excellent potential in her. अब 3 बातें हैं जो मैंने नोट की which need improvement. Number 1, we all agree eye contact उसका थोड़ा सा weak है.
She tends to look up or away a lot.
Secondly, at 2 points at least, in his case once, she did not allow him to finish the question.
She interrupted, yes,
So I call that interrupting the panel.
sir.
And this, in my opinion, is one of the 3 cardinal sins of an interview.
Sir.
ये चीज़ थोड़ी सी उसमें मैंने देखी और फिर मैं महसूस करता हूँ कि knowledge about Pakistan needs a little brushing up.
But sir, she handled well your question on international tourism, sir. वो उसने अच्छा
अच्छा,
मतलब किया।
overall I am very impressed with her
Sir.
knowledge base and all. लेकिन अगर हम fine tune करें तो थोड़ा सा brush up करें तो बहुत she is and she can improve, is a very potential candidate.
So that is what the training is for, hopefully, inshallah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So,